Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Well, my name is Kavya, and today I'm here because I wanted to talk about equity research, research analyst, financial analyst, and how do you start or make a career in finance. Well, through my experience and knowledge, all I can tell you is that a good fundamental knowledge or conceptual clarity of the accounting practices, of the accounting standards, the accounting process, and a good starting point on, financial analysis means a lot of focus on research. When I say research, I do not mean just financial research. You should be able to research on what areas or what domains are actually suited for you, which would obviously come from your past experiences, your favorite subjects in your graduation, post graduation, or your 10th and 12th. So it's very important to create a fine line between whether you're more interested on plugging in the numbers and checking for the mathematical accuracy, or checking if the nature of the item or the nature of the business have been taken into consideration while plugging in the numbers in the counting process, or you could be on the other side, that is doing a lot of analysis using the numbers which are already provided. So you could either be calculating those numbers or using those numbers to further analyze. In the first case, I mean taxation assurance audit. In the second case, I mean that you're more on a research side. You want to become a research analyst. You want to become a financial consultant. You are more on the analysis side of it, of the data, and not on fetching the data or preparing the data that has to be used by these people. So today I am going to walk you through the Naukri portal, because most of you know that a lot of job portals such as the company's official website, LinkedIn jobs, then you have Naukri, you have Freshers World, you have Indeed, etc., which offer you a lot of good opportunities and platforms where you can either directly apply through the company's website, or you can apply through the portals and indirectly get selected or shortlisted at the firm. Today, my focus would be on roles related to equity research, research analyst, or financial analyst, because it is very important, a fundamental for every finance fresher or accounting fresher to at least have these keywords. So before I speak from my experience, it is important that I show you on the portal on what are the requirements from the industry, which is posted on these portals and that you must have as a part of your resume. So as you can see my screen, I have typed in as the keyword equity research or research analyst, and I came across a few job postings. So the first step is to identify how do you start looking for a job. Let's say that you want to enter the finance industry and do not have much practical experience, but research is an area which everybody can do with a bit of practice. By this, I mean that you should have been able to prepare some equity reports. You should have a basic understanding of how do you analyze the historical financials, etc. Once we have that clarity, we can go ahead and read through the business descriptions of different companies offering such profiles and the job descriptions of the jobs posted of such roles that you can be a part of as a as the next step. So well, when I type here equity research, I see a lot of things, right? I see equity research analyst, research analyst valuations in CRISIL. What is CRISIL? CRISIL is a credit rating agency, isn't it? Then we have Cians Analytics providing private equity research associate and senior associate, research analyst valuation again. Then you have Aranka, you have Banyan Tree Capital Advisory Services. So all of these cater to the research part of it, right? You will find a lot of job postings. However, you can see that it mentions different years of experience needed. So I'm only going to talk about what is available for either a 0 to 1 year or a 1 to 2 year of experienced person in today's video. So let's start with any one of them. So I've opened a few for you. I'll walk you through those which have a basic requirement of 0 to 2, etc. So let's go through this first job posting by Aranka, which looks for a senior analyst or an assistant manager in equity research. This is for these locations, and the number of years expected of experience is 1 to 5 years. So I think this should be a good reference point where you can see what is the requirement of the industry. And according to that, we can try and plug in the keywords in our resumes so that at least we are prepared on the basics of what is needed by the industry in general, irrespective of whatever role you want to enter into or switch for. Right. So the job highlights are mentioned here. The candidate should have handled more than one project at a time, or the team of, okay, this talks about your leadership skills. This talks about you having a prior experience working with a team. Analytical thinking. Why do you think analytical thinking is required in a research profile? Because research is all about analysis, and analysis is a lot dependent on your subjective judgment of what is really happening with the numbers. So you should be able to find the key KPIs or the key performance indicators and point them specifically in the reports that you prepare. Okay, and then it mentions that this is a position wherein the select candidate will be responsible for initiating, executing, delivering quality investment research. So when I say investment research, I am not restricting to equity, right? It could be referring to various asset classes. It could be referring to a lot of companies in the same industry or different industry analysis as well. So it is very crucial for us to understand at this stage that for anyone who wants to build a model, who wants to enter valuation or financial modeling, it is important, that we have a good understanding of the research parameters. We know how financial research is conducted, and then we move to the next step, that is projecting the financials. So you always project the historicals first and then use those numbers as the basis for projections, right? So this is what I'm talking about here. A person, you should be able to possess a strong blend of analytical thinking and operations execution, excellent financial modeling skills with ability to understand and formulate business drivers. Very important. So here also understand that what they are looking for is at a person who's good with financial modeling. But do not confuse this financial modeling skills with being able to build a model from scratch, because a financial model depends on your analysis of the historicals, and this is an equity research profile. So what they also mean is a good understanding of the basics of the Excel functions so that you are able to calculate the projections, you are able to calculate the margins, the growth rates, etc. So financial modeling and equity research can go hand in hand, because a person who's good at research and is able to calculate the ratios, the key KPIs will definitely be able to build a model for the future or the projected period. Superior knowledge of concepts of accounting, valuation, and stock analysis. Why? Because when we are doing a research, we are also giving a point of view of the valuation. But it's not important at this stage to have an extremely detailed understanding of how a valuation is done. It is crucial to be able to understand how a particular company can be valued and which cannot be valued using certain methodologies in the valuation space. Strong written skills with the ability to lay out investment arguments and theses lucidly. Why do you think written skills are important? Because research is based on your understanding of the key KPIs and not the extensive amount of research you have done. And hence, at this stage, it is also important that we are able to focus on the same. High level of communication skills. It's very important to be able to communicate the important factors and the revenue drivers, cost drivers, capex, opex, etc., to the client, to the customer, or to the top management, whoever is interested and has less time available to go through the entire research. They would be able to analyze from your provided report that yes, this is important, this is the basis on which I can make an investment decision. Candidate should have handled more than one project. Again, this is repetitive because they are asking for some experience. Writing reports of various short company updates, research summaries, sector reports. At this point, I also want to point out that equity research is also a lot about industry analysis. economy analysis, company analysis. Within company analysis, you should also be able to give a competitor analysis or a comparable company analysis. Report writing is important because report writing teaches you what to highlight in a report, what to mention as image, what to mention as a text, etc. The keywords that have been formulated and provided for you already, and you don't have to do the hard work, are analyst, equity research, investment research, report writing, consulting, stock analysis. And hence, this makes your job all the more easy because you can utilize almost every keyword, I believe, in some part of your resume. It's not important to add them as a part of your internship experiences. You can also add it as a part of some courses or your profile summary, or utilize it anywhere. But the significance of these words play a major part in your resume. Well, let me show you another a profile that has been posted, which is by CRISIL. CRISIL, we all know, is a credit rating agency. They have provided a lot of things that are needed in a candidate for them to shortlist them. Let's have a look. So to work at CRISIL in the valuation domain or as a research analyst, you must have a master's degree in finance, economics, accounting, or rather any field. And hence, unfortunately, this is not open to BCom or graduates at the moment. But again, we should, as a thumb rule, try to make sure that we are at least a postgraduate. And if we are not able to become a postgraduate for any reason, then try to bag good opportunities from your graduation campuses only, because the job market is in such a scenario that it gets difficult for a fresher and a graduate to enter into this industry directly. Okay. So I'm giving you a minute to also read along with me what has been mentioned as the key responsibilities. Conduct comprehensive valuation assessments of private equity investments, including venture capital, buyouts, and real estate assets. Again, because this is more into the research analyst, particularly for the valuation department, they are expecting you to already have a valuation framework in mind. You should be clear with the valuation methodology, the steps we follow to a DCF or a relative valuation model. While at the same time, you should be able to develop, maintain, and enhance the models and methods tailored to specific asset classes. Do not focus on what is mentioned here at the moment. You can also use it as an exercise or a regular practice to check if we are familiar with these concepts or not. So what I would pick up is specific asset classes. Then I will ask you a question. What are the different asset classes apart from equity, debt, derivatives, etc.? You should be able to list out maximum asset classes that you know, not restricting in the context of India. You can also mention alternative investments, etc. Collaborate with the investment team to assess and mitigate the risks associated with existing investments. Very important point and very crucial for a person willing to enter into finance to understand what risk in finance means. I'm sure you all have heard of standard deviation. So try to find out what risk is, and then the next step is how do you mitigate risk. Perform due diligence on new investment opportunities, analyzing the financial statements, most important. And hence, you can also do some homework, try to do research on different job postings on a similar profile, and then see that financial statement analysis is a very important and a crucial part of the entire job scenario. Why? Because only when you're able to analyze or, come up with a conclusion on what the historical financials have been or how the company has performed in the historical periods, you can extrapolate those ratios and calculate for the future periods. And hence, understanding the tools of analyzing financial statements, whether you calculate the growth rates, you calculate common size statements, you prepare the comparative statements. It's important to understand that financial statement analysis forms a very crucial part of equity research and fundamental statement analysis. You are also expected to create and maintain complex financial models. But again, this comes with a little bit of an experience, and that is why they have asked for at least 1 to 3 years of experience. Again, this goes without saying that you should be able to monitor the financial performance and the financial position, for which again you have to go back and understand the financial statements in a much more detail. To conduct research, we follow a lot of databases, right? It's not possible for you to Google everything and get the information. And hence, these companies would provide you with a lot of research database access, such as Bloomberg, EMIS, Refinitiv, Thomson Reuters, etc., which will help you, prepare these reports, or they will act as analysis tools. But till the point we do not have access to such databases, we should also be able to do things from scratch and manually. And for that, a lot of effort is needed from your end. Again, go through the keywords. I will share the link in the description below so that you are able to trace these job descriptions and have a look at it again. Another one that I wanted to talk about is this, right? But again, this is Get Me Research and talks about a fresher being able to apply for this, right? But again, an MBA in finance, a CFA level 1 or 2, and a chartered accountant is preferred for this. And for that reason, I always say that it is important for you to at least be a postgraduate, to be on a safer side while entering into a career in finance. However, as graduates, it's important to have a clarity on where you are headed, and you should have a very strong reason for not doing your post graduation and willing to have some experience first. So that should obviously be backed by some additional skills, some certifications, some practical exposures, creating your own portfolio, doing some voluntary research, etc. Well, I just wanted to show you that there are so many job postings here. You just simply have to mention what you want here, and then you can apply the filters and look for the jobs on the Naukri portal. So I hope this helps, and I hope that you have been able to stay till the end of the session with me. If you are interested to enroll for my course on the equity research module, wherein I will be teaching you everything about company analysis, industry analysis, fundamental analysis, financial statement analysis, stock market, how do you calculate returns and risks in Excel, along with interview preparation, drop me a message on my email ID and I will add you to the group where you can start your learning journey with me. Stay tuned for more videos on what equity research is, on different profiles and the requirements that the industries have, and how do you bridge the gap between what is expected and what we have at the moment. But remember that it's very important to have a resume that truly depicts who you are, because only a good resume qualifies to be shortlisted, isn't it? Well, with that, I sign off from this video and I hope to see you all soon in another live session or a webinar. In case you have not been able to join my WhatsApp group or are not a part of the community, also share your phone number and contact details on the email ID mentioned below so that I'm able to add you to the WhatsApp group. All the best, keep learning and take care.